Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be filming this look. So lots of highlighter, lots of glow, lots of bronzer, and a nude lip. So yeah, if you're interested in this look, just keep watching. So I'm going to start by using this Bare Minerals Bare Skin Sheer Sun. This is like a sample I got. It's supposed to just warm up your face without adding coverage, I think. It's like a serum. So we'll see how this goes. I haven't used this before, but I'm really pale right now, so I want to add a little color. I'm just gonna put a little bit more on my forehead. Ooh. Definitely need to blend all of this out. All right, so that looks pretty good. I'm going to add some of my Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, pump of that, with one more drop of the, one more drop of that Bare Skin Sheer Sun, and I'm gonna mix that together and apply that all over. So I'm pretty much doing, or my plan is at least, because I'm winging this, is to do this step in place of my foundation. I want the skin to look really luminescent, really glowy. I don't want it to look like I have any foundation on, so I'm not going to use foundation. But I am going to use lots of bronzers and some blush and some concealer, so there is going to be a little coverage, but I like having that glow on the skin. Now I'm going to start on my eyes. So to start there, let's see, I have this by Terry Ombre Black Star cream eyeshadow. The color is Bronze Moon, number 4. And I'm going to quickly put this on my eyelid, like so. Here is what it looks like. It looks really messy right now, but this is more or less gonna act as a base for any other shadows I put on. So I'm going to buff this out with a brush, and this is a It Cosmetics brush. Came in a set. It's like a domed eyeshadow brush, I believe. And so I'm just gonna kind of blend this out in the basic areas that I know I want to have some color. And I put some underneath my under eye, pretty far low, just because I want to create that like, not smoky look, I guess smoky, but kind of more grungy look, just kind of to make the eye open up and look really bronzed and kind of have that hazy effect. And so I'm going to really buff that out. And it's always good to kind of tilt your head, look at different angles, make sure all the lines of that shadow have been buffed out. And I know it's kind of hard to do on yourself, but just keep moving your face all of the faces I'm making. And another nice reason for doing the face after is that if you get too messy, it's not going to mess up any of the other stuff you did. So I'm going to go over here and do this eye. I kind of like to use the tail of my eyebrow as a gauge of where to bring the shadow up to. And it's just a guideline, but that way you can try and make things look symmetrical. Okay, so I look real shiny and crazy right now, but I swear it's gonna come together. I'm going to go into my Urban Decay Original Naked palette, and I'm going to use the Naked color, which is like this light brown. And I'm barely gonna kind of tap that in just to add a little bit of product. And I'm going to start buffing this into like the eye socket area. And this is just gonna bring some color there and set some of that shadow. And I'm just using a very small amount because I want it to stay looking pretty glossy. Let's see, where do I want to do next? This is like, I don't even know if they carry this anymore, but it's from Victoria's Secret Makeup. It's an eyeshadow. It's called Between the Sheets. And I love this color. I've used it forever. This is what it looks like. And I'm going to use my finger, load it up, and kind of pat that onto the center of my lid, over the areas we've already done. And you can see how that kind of deepens up the eyeshadow, but still remains pretty glowy and glossy. Okay. And I always have like a brush handy because I like to blend everything out. And now I'm going to take a little bit more of that color on my finger and dab that into the outer 2/3 of my eye underneath. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. I think from there I'm going to, let's see, curl my lashes. So now I'm gonna put on a little bit of mascara. Okay, so I wiped off the excess mascara, and I'm gonna go ahead and put on my first coat of mascara, which is very light. It's just barely coating the lashes and combing them as you go. I'm gonna put a little on my lower lash line too, which I usually don't do, so bear with me because I'll probably make some funny faces. But the whole idea is to really have that lashy, kind of smoky, hazy look. So I really wanted the bottom lashes to look more distinct than normal. And I don't know if you can tell, but things are still looking really glossy, which is what I'm going for. And once we do the face, all of this will get cleaned up. So right now, I think what I'm gonna do is bronze up my entire face and neck. And this might seem crazy, but I think doing this before you put concealer on is important because you can always go back and add more bronzer, but I just want to kind of assess how things are looking with the bronzer before I start adding coverage. So I'm going to use my Baked Body Frosting by Galore. It looks like this. And I'm gonna load up my brush and I'm just gonna go after it. I'm gonna just start bronzing everything up. Okay, so you can tell that I really went after it, and I guess that's, I would say in this case, more is better, but obviously build as you go. I'm gonna go in now with a slight contour. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. It's a sculpting powder and a highlighter. And I'm gonna go in with this sculpting color on a MAC, I think it's a 138 brush. It's kind of worn off. And I'm just going to kind of focus this in my cheekbone area. And now I'm just gonna kind of rub some of that into my hairline up here just to give some like dimension with the bronzer. And now I'm just gonna go under my chin because there's usually a shadow there and it just kind of brings it all together. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with the highlight side of this. It's kind of like a champagne goldy color. It works really well when you're doing a bronze look. And I'm just gonna kind of tap that into the high points of my cheek and up into my brow bone area, like that. It's kind of like a little C shape right here. I'm always trying to find where the light is naturally hitting so that I can try and mimic that up into the brow bone. And I guess this is a good reason why I haven't done the brows yet, because I'm really kind of working that highlighter up into the brow. And then we can go in after and add some color to the brow. Okay, so now I'm gonna dip my finger into that highlighter color and kind of just dab that onto the middle of my nose just to add a little glow there, and then ever so slightly into the corners of my eye. And my Cupid's bow. And just blend that out. Okay. So I think now is a good point to just continue doing the face, and then I'm gonna go in with some concealer. So for my blush, I'm using Bare Minerals Warmth. It's, I think, technically a bronzer for them, but I like to use it as a blush when I want some color for a bronze look. So I'm going to use this fluffy brush again, and there's some powder in the cap already, and so I'm just going to pick whatever's in the cap and rub my brush into that, because you don't want that much. This is a this is a color that you want to like start off light with, and you can always add more. So I've loaded up my brush, and now I'm going to put this over the high points of my face. So really just kind of that cheek area, the nose, chin, and then just bring it down. You always want to bring bronzers and colors from the face down, like the foundation or the bronzer, just so that everything marries together. Okay, I actually don't think I'm gonna add more of that. But as you can tell, I didn't use any foundation yet, and I already have like a little bit of coverage just from all of those powders we just put on. So now at this point, I can go in and decide like, okay, I have like really dark circles right now, so I'm gonna put some concealer there, and then just wherever you have some redness and blemishes, you're just gonna, my camera totally just stopped filming, and so I didn't get to film the concealer part. So I'm just gonna quickly go over what I just did. I think in the middle of explaining how I'm just going to spot conceal mostly underneath my eyes and then wherever I have blemishes. So I put it under my eyes right here. And I'm using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. And then I have a few blemishes and redness around my nose, and then there were just like a few spots where I have some good old hormonal acne that I just gently dab over. You want your skin to look like skin, so really you don't need that much, and then you just take your fingers and dab that in. But for me, I for sure have to at least do a little bit underneath my eyes, otherwise I look like, I don't know, a Dracula. Okay. Make sure that's all blended in. And then when you're done with that, whatever's left on your fluffy brush, you can kind of just go over and make sure that the concealer has a little bit of bronze to it. Otherwise, you're gonna look like you have raccoon eyes where the concealer was. Like, you want to blend it all together. Okay, so now I'm going to probably go back to the eyes, because again, this look is mostly about the eyes. My mascara's had a chance to dry, so I combed through my lashes, and now I'm gonna curl them one more time. And then I'm going to put on another layer of mascara. And you can be a little bit more application heavy with this because you really want your lashes to pop. Okay, so lots of time spent doing the lashes, but I think that that's the most important part of this look, is to have really long black lashes against that bronzed eyeshadow. I think it looks really good. And in case any of you were wondering, I use the Maybelline Lash Stiletto waterproof mascara because I think I've failed to mention that in other videos. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and tackle my brows and see what we're going to do there. Usually I just fill them in a little bit. So I'm going to use what I normally use, which is a little tiny eyeliner brush. This is a MAC 210 brush, and then the dark powder in this MAC Brunette eyeshadow duo right here. So I'm going to dip my brush in, and then I go in and just add little strokes to where I have gaps in my eyebrows. And I like to use a powder for this because I feel like it's a softer look, it gives a softer finish, especially when you go back through and brush them out. It creates more of like a shadow that thickens your brows without feeling like you have drawn on penciled eyebrows. That's a pretty good stopping point, but I'm always sure to go back through and comb them out because I like them to look more bushy. And I think for this look, since I want them to stay in place, I'm going to use a little eyebrow wax, and this is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's called Brow Fix. And I just kind of barely add a little to the brow because I don't want to move the color around too much. But this helps them stay in place, and you can use this or you can use like a brow gel. There's a lot of stuff out there that helps your brows stay in place. I like this because I can go back through and brush them, and they don't look like hairsprayed onto my face, but it gives them a little stick. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so I think the last thing I'm going to do is add a little lip. And for this, I'm going to stray away from what I normally use, which is the Dior Lip Glow. And I'm going to do kind of like a more nude gloss. So I'm going to start off by using a lip liner, actually. This is from Too Faced Cosmetics. It's called Perfect Lips Lip Liner, and the color is Perfect Nude. And I'm not gonna like overline my lips or anything. I'm just mostly gonna add a little color. So I like fill it in and like bring it down. And same thing for the bottom lip. And I like lip liners usually over lipsticks because I feel like they have more staying power and longevity. I find when I wear lipstick, I look like a clown and it just like smears all over the place and doesn't stay on. I feel like I have to reapply a ton of times. So I usually find that lip liners work better for me, but I rarely wear anything other than like a lip balm. So anyway, so now I'm gonna put a gloss over it, and this is by NYX Cosmetics. You can get this at like Ulta or I don't know, online. And the color's Elizabeth. It's their Pump It Up Lip Plumper. I like that lip gloss because it's nude, but it's not like one of those white out nudes. It has like a beigeish pink undertone, which I like. And I believe that completes this makeup look. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed this get ready with me. It was fun. It was kind of like scrambling as I went, but I enjoyed being spontaneous and allowing you guys to see what a get ready with me looks like. I hope you're having a great day and take care.